One question that came in, which I think is a very direct question, and it's really probably important for us to address and to answer, which is like, budgets are tight right now. How, all of this sounds great, but how do you convince your CEO to add these programs essentially when budgets are tight? And this is important. So I'll talk a little bit about sort of what we've seen as being successful, and like you might find this to be, you might see some patterns in this as well. Again, like the, they want to do what is in the best interest of their employees and well-being. And I think, where we've seen a lot of success is when employees actually speak up, either individually or in groups. So employee sort of resource groups, or ERGs, where you can sort of bring an idea to a women's ERG or an LGBTQ ERG and introduce it to the group, and then the group can sort of formally present it to the VP of benefits or whoever is the benefits leader in the org and say, this is why a more flexible, inclusive fertility benefit is important for example, single intending parents or same-sex couples. And this is why, for example, our insurance product like doesn't cut it or doesn't go all the way. And when employers hear that from employees, it's actually, it lands much differently. And it's like, it's a much different sort of experience than when, for example, they would hear it from me or from somebody at Carrot, because it's in your workforce. And so I think so that's number one. Number two, I tell people this all the time when people ask me, like, how do you talk to your employer? I think it's for people who are directly affected and who are directly in need of coverage for fertility care and support for fertility care. If you feel safe and you feel comfortable, certainly speak out and go talk to your benefits leader. But I would also encourage folks who maybe see somebody in their organization who is struggling either with infertility or thinking about fertility care proactively, and they themselves are not going to need the product, but to really sort of help and be an ally to that person, to say, hey, this isn't something that I need, but this is something that I'm noticing that my friends and colleagues across the organization could really benefit from. And, they don't feel comfortable coming here and asking for it themselves, either for privacy reasons, which are totally legitimate. So I'm here sort of, speaking on their behalf. And we've seen that be really, really successful as well. And so it does take some level of engagement and speaking up from employees in some cases, but I think there are ways to do that without compromising sort of your own privacy, which is certainly important. And that privacy piece is obviously important, as you mentioned, around finances as well. I mean, a lot of people don't want to sort of talk about their personal, debt or financial situation with employers. What have you seen be successful?
Yeah. I mean, I would say right now there's so many employers who want to offer financial well-being, and many times, they're working with their CFO or leadership, maybe to create a line item. And so a lot of times it's helping them understand the business case. And a lot of companies already see it. Large employers usually come to us and they say, we're losing employees to companies that are giving them nominal raises. And if we could just explain to them that, if they were actually utilizing the benefits we offer, they would be taking home more than if they change jobs for this small raise, but we can't explain it to them. And so I think that's one big thing, is just helping people, again, optimize their paycheck, understand these pre-tax benefits and really take home the most amount of money in different ways you can make your money work for you. And I think the other really big thing that's interesting that not everyone knows about is, if you help your employees use products like HSA and FSA and pick the right plans, you as an employer can actually save millions of dollars because of payroll taxes. And so if you have one employee max out their FSA, you're typically saving about $228 per year. If that's 1,000 employees, that's $250,000. And so with scale, it becomes more and more of an actual cash ROI that companies can see just by helping employees utilize the right benefits. And so I help them put together those cases for their workforce.